Today we're getting cheesy. I'm going to show you how to make two delicious, stuffed, Juicy Lucy style cheeseburgers that are loaded with ooey gooey cheese, also loaded with nearly 80 grams of protein and very low in calories, only about 305 calories each. If you want to find out how to make it, it's coming up right now on The Cog is Shred. Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name is John, and I've lost over 130 pounds through a combination of mindful eating and daily walking, and these days I'm just trying to maintain my weight and stay in shape. So today I'm going to show you how to make another burger. This is one that I have heard of for quite some time, but never actually tried making my own. I've heard of these burgers called Juicy Lucy's, which I'm sorry, the name always has kind of grossed me out. So that's what they're called. I'm just going to call it a stuffed cheeseburger, but it's just what it sounds like. It is a cheeseburger that is stuffed with cheese. Instead of putting the cheese on top, you put the cheese in the middle of the beef patty, and it is cheesy and delicious and amazing. And I've put together a recipe that's low in calories. It uses lean ground beef and fat-free cheese, but trust me, it doesn't taste like it. This thing is juicy and flavorful and delicious. So let me stop talking and just show you how to make it, all right? Let's get cooking. So I've got my cast iron griddle preheating on the stove on medium heat, and while that heats up, let's go ahead and prep the meat for the burgers. We're starting off with 8 ounces of 93.7 lean ground beef. To season it, I'm going with a couple of my favorites. I've got McCormick's Worcestershire Pub Burger and Montreal Steak seasonings. These are delicious. We're using a half tablespoon of each. So just take a half tablespoon of one, half tablespoon of the other. That's all there is to it. Now, to act as a binding agent and add a little bit of moisture to this lean beef, I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of egg beaters. I'm using egg beaters instead of regular eggs because it's lower in calories and a little higher in protein because it's mostly egg whites. So 2 tablespoons of egg beaters. And finally, my secret ingredient for making delicious, juicy burgers with lean ground beef, avocado. I've got 25 grams of mashed avocado here. And this is basically gonna add some fat back in. But I'll tell you, I'm not too crazy about like super greasy, fatty beef, but to me, avocado is not quite as sickeningly greasy as beef fat, but it still adds some fat back in and makes it more moist, juicy, and delicious like you would have in some of that higher fat beef. So avocado is the way to go. I've become obsessed. As you can see, I've got so many avocados here because I tend to eat about 1 a day anymore.
Good Lord.
It's a good way of getting some extra fiber and some healthy fats. Okay, let's go ahead and mix this all together until the meat is uniform because you don't want it runny or liquid. You want all of this combined. So take off my ring so it doesn't get all gunked up. And let's just go ahead and mix this all together by hand. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. Just make sure you wash them. Wash consistently. It's gonna take a minute to get it all together because there's a lot of stuff in here. And you may still see some streaks of green because it's avocado. Avocado is green, but I promise you, when it all mixes together, it's just gonna be a delicious burger. All right, I think that looks pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and wash my hands. I know I'm gonna get them dirty again in a second, but I gotta keep them clean when I'm handling other things. So let me wash my hands and then we'll come back and start making our patties and stuffing them. Okay, so as you can see, I've got some aluminum foil here. We're gonna use this to make our burger patties. So we've got our 8 ounces of ground beef, and I'm just gonna divide this into 4 equal size pieces, or at least as close to equal as I can. I'm just kind of eyeballing it right here, just separating it by hand, but we want to separate it into 4 2-ounce sections. And I'm gonna take each of these and make it into a small patty and place it on the foil. We'll go ahead and do that with the others. Doesn't have to be perfect just yet. We're just getting started. We're gonna go ahead and refine the shape of them on the foil here. All right. So, starting with the first 2 that I put down, I'm gonna flatten these out nice and wide and flat. And being careful not to have any holes in them because they have to hold the cheese, because these are gonna be stuffed Juicy Lucy. Ugh, I hate that term. They're gonna be stuffed with cheese, and I wanna make sure they hold the cheese well and it doesn't all ooze out. Sometimes that does happen while you're cooking, but I try to avoid it just for presentation purposes, and you don't wanna lose your cheese in the skillet. You wanna keep it inside the burger. And I don't know if you can tell, but I'm making the center a little bit more indented because I wanna sort of make a little bit of a wall. Not a wall, but just a little bit of a lip around the edge. Kind of like if you're making a pizza and you have a crust around the edge to hold the sauce. Same basic idea. I don't know if this is the proper way to do it. A lot of these recipes are things that I just kind of like come up with on the fly, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try this. I make it, I like it, and I'm like, yeah, this is really good. I would eat this all the time, and then I share it with you guys. Okay, the burger patties are ready. These are the bottom halves, these are the top halves. I'm gonna go ahead and wash my hands again, and then we're gonna load it up with cheese. These are gonna be super cheesy. I've got 30 grams of fat-free cheddar cheese, shredded. Got this over at Walmart. You can use Kraft or Great Value. I'm going with the Great Value because it's a little cheaper. I just love to stock up on this stuff because I use it in so many things. And it's great that it's inside here because fat-free cheese has plenty of flavor, but it's low in moisture. But if you put it inside of here, it melts so well and has so much flavor and is just gooey and delicious. There's our fat-free cheddar. Each burger will also have 1 slice of fat-free American cheese, depending on the brand you get. This right here is 25 calories per slice, which is pretty dang low. I got Food Club brand, but I believe Kraft also has 25 calories in their fat-free American. And I love American cheese in cheeseburgers. If you don't like it, you don't have to. You can always add more of the cheddar. But growing up on fast food and American cheese on burgers, there's just something about that. I know it's a fake processed cheese, but cheeseburgers are the perfect use for this kind of cheese. And as you see, I've just folded it in half just to give it a little bit of a line. I'm tearing it into 4 squares and then just kind of trying to evenly distribute it throughout the burger patty. And there we go. So now all we gotta do is assemble these. So we're gonna take the tops, put them on the bottoms. Let me see if this will work. I've done this before where I've just folded it over. That's why I've got 2 long pieces of foil here. So that way I can just lift it right up like that and put it right in place. If you don't do it perfectly, that's all right. You don't have to. It's raw meat after all, so it's not like it's permanently holding its shape. It's very malleable. And what you want to do is make sure to seal the edges as best as possible. You want to keep that cheese completely sealed inside here because you don't want it oozing out all over the place while you cook. You want these to be stuffed and full when you take that bite. All right, and there we go. Our burger patties are now assembled and ready to cook. So go ahead and get your buns ready and let's move to the stove. Now, if you've watched my other burger videos, you know I like to use Keto Culture brand buns because they are only 50 calories per bun, and I spray them with some of this 0-calorie, I can't believe it's not butter spray. So just make sure you spray some of that on your buns. That way they'll come out nice and crispy and toasty, but without all the added calories. And like I said, I'm sure with enough sprays, you're gonna get a few calories, but it's pretty minimal. All right, let's go ahead and put these right on the stove. But first, I'll spray a little butter-flavored spray just to help protect the cast iron. And we'll put these on the griddle. I'm gonna press this just a little bit. You hear that sizzle? That's why we got that butter spray on there. I'm also gonna use my spatula and press them down just to make sure they get nice and toasty. I'm not gonna press the top bun quite as much just because I don't want to squish it. And we'll just let these toast just for a little bit. It's cast iron, it gets really hot, so it shouldn't take long at all. They're probably already getting pretty close. Oh yeah, that's done. Let me go ahead and put these on a plate. All right, buns are ready. Let's go ahead and cook the burgers. Real quick, before I put them on here, I'm gonna sprinkle just a little bit of garlic salt and black pepper. Just a little. Don't wanna go too crazy, but it adds a little extra flavor. All right, spray and add the burgers. Burger 1, burger 2. And I'll do the same thing on the other side here. Garlic salt and black pepper. Oh yeah, I got that beautiful sizzle going on there. I love burgers. So it's just gonna take a couple of minutes on this side. I wanna make sure the underside is browned and seared and cooked all the way through. Then I'm gonna go ahead and flip it over. And I'm starting to see some of that browning coming up around the edges, which lets me know I think that the underside is cooked. So let's go ahead and flip these and cook the other side. All right. Oh, look at that sear, yeah. Very nice. Got a nice sear going on. This side here is still a little pink. Let's go ahead and let that keep cooking. That's looking pretty good. I'd say these are probably about ready. So all in all, maybe about 6 minutes, maybe about 3 minutes each side. It doesn't take very long. I think these look good. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these on a bun, put some ketchup and mustard, and call it a day. All right, let's go ahead and put these on the hamburger buns. Ooh, look at those plump, juicy burgers right here. All right. Gonna add about a tablespoon of no sugar added ketchup. Ooh, it's squirting all over the place. That's all right. That's roughly a tablespoon, 10 calories per tablespoon. And then some yellow mustard if you like mustard, and mustard is 0 calories, so no shame in that. And that is it. Now we've got ourselves 2 delicious cheese-stuffed burgers. Let's go ahead and give these things a shot. All right, well, here they are. 2 low-calorie, high-protein burgers, loaded with cheese, loaded with flavor. I want to try these while the cheese is still melty on the inside, so let me go ahead and take a bite and see how these turned out. Here we go. Oh, man. Oh, that cheese. I mean, you see that cheese. It is just oozing out of there. Look at all that. Oh, man. This one here couldn't even keep it all in. It is just, whoo. This thing is just loaded with cheese. Oh, man. I'm really glad I put the American cheese in there. I don't think a cheeseburger really tastes like a cheeseburger without American cheese. You can fight me on that. Oh, who am I kidding? I love burgers with provolone, Munster, Swiss, pepper jack, cheddar, whatever. I like cheese. I mean, there is so much cheese in here, and this thing is low calorie and high protein.
And delicious.
I just got to take one more bite, and then I'll tell you the macros. Oh, man. Yes! All right, so for both of these big, meaty, cheesy burgers, you're looking at 610 calories. That's 305 each. 610 calories for these loaded with cheese, 41 grams of carbs, 22 grams of fat, 79 grams of protein. That's almost 80 grams of protein. So these are going to be filling. They're going to be great for building muscle because they're low in fat and high in protein. Great for weight loss and just great tasting. The avocado adds so much because lean ground beef can tend to be kind of dry and firm. Adding that avocado adds that fat in there, and it's just so good. The texture, everything about it is what you'd expect in a good quality burger. I think I've said enough. The burgers speak for themselves. Look at all that cheese. All right, so if you want to try it, make it yourself. It is absolutely worth it. I highly recommend it. And if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like and subscribe to The Cogisshred for more videos related to my own weight loss and fitness journey and other recipes. All right, thanks so much for watching. I am going to finish devouring these delicious, juicy, Lucy, swore I wasn't going to say that again, stuffed cheeseburgers. Take care, everybody. Keep on eating.